you have to remember, friends, before we go on to what Cardinal Prevost, the clip that we found yesterday, diabolical disorientation, as I've said so many times, affects all of us, including me, all of us. We live in a diabolically disoriented world. And it's been a long time since the church was traditional Catholic. It's been a long time for people to figure these things out. Many of these men were formed in the Novus Ordo, and they're just now, I think thanks to COVID, thanks to the last 12 years, they're coming to realize that something's very wrong. I mean, really wrong in the church and in the world, and they're taking a more serious look at things. So that's how I want to ask some questions in the here and now about what's happening here. So people say, well, Pope Leo is obviously a big synodality guy. Okay, but as I said, we need to understand how he defines that, first of all, and then we'll deal with how he intends to implement that. I will say this, sitting in the press office, listening to him, here's exactly what was in my mind. I think I even put it on video. I said, this man seems so reasonable. He seems like he has the faith. He's so genuine. He's not trying to, sort of intimidate anyone. He's not angry. And his answers were the answers of a guy who was trying to say, well, I think we need to understand what synodality means and what it doesn't mean. So he was asked the question about women deacons and priests. Again, Cardinal Robert Prevost, who was asked about this just today in the press hall. And the answer that he gave, however sort of gently and weakly in my opinion, it's not the answer that the progressives want to hear. It never will be. Here's what he said.
Clericalizing women doesn't necessarily solve a problem. It might make a new problem. And that perhaps we need to look at a new understanding or different understanding of both leadership, power, authority, and service, above all service, in the church from the different perspectives that can be, if you will, brought to the life of the church by women and men. But I think that one of the things that has become clear during even this month, but the time leading up to this, is that it's not just a given that because in society women are recognized, that, well, a woman can be president or a woman can have many different kinds of roles of leadership in the world. It's not like there's an immediate parallel to say in the church, therefore. And that our categories, I think, and the life of the church are different, need to be different, and so some of those questions will continue to be there, to be reflected upon, but it isn't as simple as saying that, at this stage we're going to change, if you will, the tradition of the church after 2,000 years.
In other words, ladies, no women priests, ever, and no gay marriage either in the Catholic Church.
All right, so probably the third most common concern that people have is the alleged cover-up.
The sexual cover-up. Okay, this is a tough one, and I always, before I ever comment on it at all,